Hey, welcome back to the Baco Motorsports Power Hour. Mike Griffith with Bakersfield, California. Got David Sullivan from Bakersfield Speedway in, and we were actually talking about drag racing and bracket racing, and we were on the subject of A-Gas because Brendan Fry runs an A-Gas car. His brother Austin, crew chief's on it. Austin races some modified stuff on the dirt track.
Right.
So the big racers out of Taft, California.
Yeah.
And Brendan, a former March Meet winner as well.
Yeah, real shame. A great weekend of racing, of course, with our season opener, but the 4 days at Famoso. And I'm so glad that the weather's going to be perfect for them. So many years, it rains on them. But this weekend, no rain, 70 degrees. It's going to be fantastic, and it's going to be fantastic Saturday night at the Speedway.
And the good thing is you can go to Famoso all day Saturday, get your nitro fix, come on in off of Highway 65.
Absolutely.
Swing down James Road to Bakersfield Speedway and watch some roundy round racing, as we like to call it.
I'll get my partner Brian Smith to do all the paperwork in the afternoon. I'll just show up about 6 o'clock and kick that show into high gear.
Yeah, that's going to work.
Yeah, right.
But what do we have coming up this weekend? We have you had practice last week. Were you out there?
No, I wasn't. My wife had her knee replaced, and so I've been with her constantly,
well, that's good.
And she's doing real well. Saw you at the awards banquet. I thought it was a great time and a lot of new stories this year. You talked about Jerry Flippo and a few others. But Saturday night, we start the season opener, 29 races. It's the same schedule as last year. We're off July 1st and the first weekend of October. Other than that, every Saturday we are open. And it's the modifieds this week, hobby stocks, American stocks, and mini stocks. To me, that's just the good old-fashioned Bakersfield Speedway race with those four divisions.
It is, and while you may not have been out there Saturday night, and I was not out there Saturday night because I was with my wife at a party, Tom Mock was there.
Oh, Tom Mock is
He's
everywhere.
And he's got some slides, so Chris can just kind of roll through a few slides that Tom Mock, and this was from last year, one of the big races, but from then on he was there, and he shot a lot of practice going on. I think Scott said there were like almost 70 cars for practice out there. And you can see a variety. You had open wheel cars, mod lights, modifieds, hobby stocks. So,
American stocks, IMC stocks. Only thing we didn't have were the mini dwarfs, and they come up in the month of March. One of the nice things about this year's schedule, the second race in, we bring in the USAC midgets, the sport mods.
Hold it right there. Go back to the last slide. I'm betting that this car wins more than one race this year. Mr. Brad Pounds in a Bill Henderson-owned modified, which means well-prepared, best parts, and a great driver.
I think you can do better than that, Mike. I would say at least one.
I said more than one. I bet more than one. I don't know what the over and under would be.
Safe bet.
It's pretty competitive, so you want to put the over and under. 3 wins seems to be pretty. Put the over and under at 4. Over or under 4?
Yeah, I was going to go
at
least 3, probably 5.
So there you go. The over and under 4. Let's see.
Yeah, but looking forward to
that. Choose the over, choose the under, place your bets now.
Yeah, and that class is fantastic. Great drivers. It's been said many times that drivers from out of town come here and run with our local drivers because they know they have to beat them to beat some of the best. And for a Saturday night, modifieds are on the track. One of our first divisions out of the 6 divisions that we have. So looking forward to that. But then the second race is USAC Midgets. Every month we have a special race or a special division coming in. The Wing Sprint Car, CRA, which is coming up in April. More Wing Sprints. And then the Richie McGowan Memorial, the Mike Mosier Memorial, the 2-day Bud Nationals. It's an exciting schedule that Scott put together, I think.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it wasn't on the original list. Was Ronald McDonald racing for Ronald Night. I think I saw a post by the Jones family, which is very instrumental in it, that it's going to be on the 12th.
Very good.
August 12th.
August 12th.
Because last year they Mike Hill Jr. and then they built a complete American stock, raffled it off. The person didn't want the American stock, took the $2,000, I think, in cash instead. So they've kept that American stock car, and they're going to raffle it off again. So I think you can start getting your tickets already for it in this Saturday night, I believe.
Well, Devin Jones.
And what was it? $25,000? I can't remember.
It was $26,000
There
they
it is.
raised last year. Devin Jones had a big part in building that car. He's part of the JR Motorsports. But that's one thing about Bakersfield Speedway and the fans. We have a Camp Out for Cancer. We have Autism Night. We have Racing for Ronald, Racing for Wishes. And so much money is generated by the fans that come every Saturday night. It's fantastic. Like I said, Ronald McDonald, they have a big carnival that day and a lot of corporate sponsorship, $26,000.
Yeah, that's probably grown into the biggest fundraisers,
Yeah,
but there
it
are
is.
others that do a lot of good job. It's just that a lot of people put a lot of effort into
Yeah.
the Racing for Ronald night, which is a highlight of the schedule that, as you said, 29 races, right?
Exactly, 29. And
Not counting the Bud Nationals or count?
not counting the Bud Nationals
There you
or
go.
the two scheduled in November. But it's been a long off season for me. Keep in mind, I do nothing.
Well,
that's
I've known
concerned-
that for years.
No, let me finish there, Mike.
I thought you were.
I opened the door or what, man? Bam, I slammed me in the back. I'm not part of racing in the off season. So my first experience will be Saturday night, and I've been looking forward to it. I have so much fun there and with my partner, Brian Smith. And I'll see Steve Hughes coming this Saturday night, so we'll banter with him a little bit. And
Yeah, Steve Hughes, he works at KCRP, but former announcer at Mason Marin,
Yeah.
at Bakersfield Speedway. Well, at Bakersfield Speedway, at Mason Marin, at
Yeah.
Bakersfield Speedway.
Yeah.
Now KCRP.
Yeah, I
If
worked
we
with him.
follow the
I
Steve
worked with him
announcing,
in Mason Marin, actually. I did a consultant work years ago for the Speedway, and he was out there, great talent. And then I drug him to Mason Marin for a couple of years, and then I retired. He went back out to Speedway. And I will never, never say the greatest show on dirt because that's his tagline, and I don't think I can say it as good as him. So I never want to say that.
Yeah, big race fan Steve is, and very knowledgeable. Follows a lot of the all aspects of motorsports. If you want to ask him what's happening in motocross, he's going to tell you.
Absolutely, yeah.
So-
Like I said, that's his life, that's his work.
But boy, busy, and Scott Schweitzer couldn't come in because I know he's not cleaning toilets because we talked about that. He hires that out. He says he'll do basically everything else, but he's got to get that track ready.
Yeah.
A lot of things that I finished that was on last week, and the wind a few weeks ago knocked down a light standard, so they had to put up a new telephone pole.
Yeah.
They had the lights up, but I think they're hooking all those up. So in turn, is it turn one?
I think it's turn one.
So, but they're getting those lights.
There's a lot to
Back
do
up.
to get the track, and they do some prep in the off season, but we get to here, and we had the practice last week. Okay, now we got to get the track in racing form, and so there's a lot to do there. And then off the track with the snack bars and the buildings and the pits. So he stays pretty busy, and I don't mind when he misses Wednesday. It gives me a chance to come in and talk with
No,
you.
and you do that in busy because there's not much of an off season. Scott takes a little off season, but there's always something to do out there. That facility's been around since
I know.
1946, and has run every single year since.
72nd year of running, and there's a great history there, and nonstop every year they've ran, and you're right, it's very old, and so there's a lot to do. And the first race it's amazing that usually it's a shakedown where everyone's kind of getting used to their positions, the scorers, the staffers, the snack bar people, but it normally goes pretty good. And I think with the divisions that are running Saturday night, starting with the modifieds and then hobby stocks, which is my favorite division to watch, America stocks and mini stocks, it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah, Chris, go ahead and run through some of those slides again, just because I want to make a point here of looking at these slides. Tom always does great photography. But I think when you want to look at these cars and these slides now, because you kind of want to do a before and after, not so much the open wheel cars because they're going to pretty much look the same. But look at how nice these cars look right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take a picture before you take it out
a
on the
picture.
track.
Look at this. We got Lee Jensen back in the old 57 Chevy. Not the most aerodynamic thing, but a great looking car.
Yeah. It's bad fast.
Schweitzer out there in the 78. These cars all look, and that car, look how nice that car looks right now.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to look that nice at 11 p.m. Saturday night.
Exactly. They will all change dramatically. I want to tell them to take the pictures now take it out on the track. Even during some practice, someone's going to wind up
Look at this.
kissing
What
the
a
wall.
beautiful car.
Yeah.
Just absolutely gorgeous wrap on there. So things are looking good right now.
Yeah. Car count looks good. We watched the memberships, and 2 weeks ago they came in and they signed for their numbers, and they could buy it. There were assigned pit stalls if they wanted to, and things like that. So we're really pleased with what's happening as far as the car counts. Again, we have a lot of them that are changing. Not a lot of them. A few of them changing divisions. Some running two divisions, like Jerry Flippo, who was the driver of the year.
Is Jerry still going to run the Mod Light as well?
Yeah. Yeah. He says he's going to run the Mod Light.
He won like a bajillion Mod Light races between the
Oh.
the two racetracks. He was winning.
How many conversations did we have? He can't win another one. And he'd slam off another one, even when Zach Forster got in there, and he won so many the year before. But Flippo, and I talked about it, he said, 1 year experience and good driving equipment, it made all the difference in the world. And he really kind of matured up.
He really matured up, and he took how old is Jerry? Like 17?
Maybe.
Yeah, and,
maybe.
and about 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
He's a tall drink of water, as they say there. But he just took to those Mod Lights after his rookie season of learning.
Yeah.
He came out last year and was just the driver to beat, period.
Yeah. Another one in the Mod Lights, Balcazar, Anthony Balcazar.
Anthony Balcazar, he's knocked on the door, finished second.
Yeah.
Nice kid, Anthony. They're the same
developed
age
well.
frame, looking for his first win. And interesting, you've got Jones moving up from the mini dwarfs.
Oh, yeah. Chloe Jones?
Chloe Jones moving up from the brain fade there, moving up from mini dwarfs. She's like 13, 14 years old, getting into a Mod Light. That's going to cause her mom and dad's heart to do a little pitter-patter.
And for people that haven't been out to the Speedway or any racetrack, there are so many with the mini dwarfs 5 years old to 13 years old. And even after in that class and all the divisions, women drivers, they're not like one or two. There's a lot of them. And a lot of them are very, very good. Lonnie Spiller winning the mini stock championship, for example.
Right.
And a lot in the sportsmen and then in the modifieds. It's an amazing sort. And mini dwarfs are I like to be out there next to the track when they run.
Quite a few female mini dwarf drivers in that older age group, the 9 to 13, and we're starting to see them move up now. And Chloe Jones, would be interesting to see how many have the finances and the backing to move up to some of these bigger classes when they start aging out of the mini dwarfs and where they land up. But there could be a whole influx of a new generation of female drivers running out there.
You're right. The natural progression would be Mod Lights, but it's not necessarily cast in stone. I'd like to see them move to mini stocks.
Move to mini stocks or get into American stock or even a hobby stock if you get out there. We've had young hobby stock drivers, so get out there and do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, the growth is fantastic. The fan base they're so good and very knowledgeable crowd. I enjoy it very much here.
Okay, so good. The start of 29 weeks of racing, not consecutive because we do have a couple breaks in there.
Yeah, just two.
Just two. But I want to thank you for coming in, David.
Always a pleasure,
and we'll see you Saturday night because it'll be a long day and night for me out there.
Yeah, I'll save your seat.
A lot of people save my seat.
Yes.
And get out to Bakersfield Speedway Saturday night, opening night. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see you back next week on the Baco Motorsports Power Hour.